Hey, how's it going? Coach Kyle here, and I'm going to tell you when it's okay to take a rest day or a rest week or not. And so let's see, over the weekend, last weekend, I had two runners both tweak their ankles. One did, so let's see, last week here in western South Dakota, we got dumped on with quite a bit of snow. And there was the state trail championships um, over the last weekend. And as you can imagine, it was icy, it was snowy. They actually cut out one distance and shortened it. And I think they changed it to like a 3 or 4 miler instead of a 5 and 10 miler or something like that, because it was real bad. It was icy, crappy. Um, so one lady that I coach kind of tweaked her ankle a little bit during that run, and then another lady that I coach kind of tweaked it a little bit during soccer. And while we're going there, I have two guys who both kind of have the cold in the last week or so, and one skipped his last run and one skipped his Monday run and pushed back his tempo run. Um, and that's okay. It's encouraged. And that's the important thing to consider here, is that sometimes the best runners, the ones that are either, elite runners or just good amateur runners that improve or just never seem to get hurt, they're good at resting when the time is right. And like these four runners, two of them had a potential injury and two of them were ill. And they all made the right decision by just resting. And people might think I never get hurt. And that's not entirely true. I almost get hurt once in a while. And I mean by that is if something doesn't feel quite right, like if my left arch it's just not normal, it's not quite right. Taking 2 days, taking 4 days, taking a week as like a light rest period where you might not do a workout in the long run. You might just run easy, or you might not run at all for 4 days. You might just go for walks or bike or something. Doing that is almost always enough to prevent a little niggle from becoming a full-blown injury. It's always going to be the right choice to rest, take it easy, dial it back for 3 to 7 days, rather than go for your normal training, cross your fingers and hope that this little calf niggle doesn't turn into a full-blown injury. It's rest for 3 days rather than rest for 3 weeks. I can't remember the last time I've been forced I have no idea the last time I've been forced to take a period of rest. But I've chosen to take little periods of rest when something doesn't feel quite right multiple times over the years. And like I said, if you just looked at my training, you'd think I was just never hurt. And that's true, but I do get little niggles once in a while. But every time, cross my fingers, so far, every time, just a few days or a week where I just dial it back and I'm good to go. And that's going to be true for you. It's going to be true for those roofers over there. Anybody who makes the right decision about resting is, like I said, making the right decision. Who doesn't make the right decision? The ego. The ego wants to run faster, more, longer, more frequently. It wants to never rest. The ego is not the amigo, and the ego is not a good running coach. But when you have some hesitation, a good thing to do, and I tell people, what would Coach Kyle do? Or if you had a friend coming to you asking you, hey, my left hamstring, just right in this little spot right here, kind of aches a little bit. It's just like a spot this big, and it just doesn't feel right. And I have a tempo run tomorrow. Every time I would tell a client, like, hey, just rest today. Maybe go in tomorrow. If it feels okay tomorrow, plan on doing the workout. But if there's any hesitation that you shouldn't be doing the workout, just jog. Or end the run. Um, Almost always it's going to be the right decision. If you have something like an ankle sprain, like my two clients, if you have a little ankle sprain or something, or if it's your calf or your calf, if it's your arch or calf, that's what I meant to say. Do the hop test. So the hop test, and I had both of my clients do this and they both passed, but it's, can you hop one-legged on the affected leg for 30 seconds with confidence and without discomfort? If you can do that, you're probably okay to run. If not, give it another day. And chances are, after 1 or 2 days, you'll be fine. You'll be good to go. But many people would have just went out and ran. And, worst horrible case scenario would be you're a mile away from where you started and you're like, fuck, I shouldn't have ran, and now you have a mile to walk and or jog back. And you just pushed off your actual true recovery by 2 to 5 days. So don't let the ego make training choices. Make smart training choices. What would you do if you were your coach? And if you find that you're habitually, when somebody comes to me and they're like, I'm just an injury prone runner. No offense, but I think in my head, no, you're just making bad training choices repeatedly. And, it's no fault to anybody. I've made horrible decisions in my life, and it's often just a case of, ignorance. I'm just not knowing. It's a mistake. And you can choose to learn from those mistakes, or you can repeat them. And if you want some help and some guidance on realizing and remedying and fixing these mistakes, reply back here, DM me, and let's work together for 2 to 3 months and dial in your strength work, your running speeds, your consistency, your frequency, your habits. Let's get everything on point. So then when we set you free, you're good to go. You're stronger, you're faster, you've got a good running routine under your belt, and you've got a good schedule going forward. So let me know if you want to chat. It's good to dial it in, and it's nice sometimes just to change things for 2 to 3 months. And that can be a huge, just changing something can be a huge stimulus for further growth and adaptation. And if you have just any general questions, if you have a video topic that you want me to talk about, let me know and I'll take care of it. But as always, and you know it, you keep running and I'm going to keep coaching.